day. From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Carolina Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The Cowboys take over first and 10.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 91 yards.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
On first down, Palmer. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Off the bootleg, Whitaker. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
It's a gain of
just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
25 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
To throw on 3rd down. Whitaker. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
Intended for number 86.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead.
Cowboys 3, Panthers 0.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Now a hit and a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the kicking team.
And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Off play action. Whitaker. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Whitaker. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw. Let him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
85.
A 24-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Point after here coming up. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Panthers take over first.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say a great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
The quarterback sacked.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after them.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, Irving. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. Lynn, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
first down. Lynn. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 to score after one on EA Sports. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, Lynn. That's complete to Ward. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Finding his target, it's Ward. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll try to run this one in. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And they give this time to the tailback. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Operating from the gun, Lynn. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Cowboys 10, Panthers 3.
That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
So here are the Cowboys to take over. They fell last week at the hands of the Washington football team, but they've got the lead right now. throwing on first down. Whitaker looking for his running back, and he's got him. That catch good for only a couple.
That's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down, Cowboys.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. From the gun, Whitaker. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 yards there, first down.
He's brought down at the 31.
Looking to throw. Whitaker. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Operating from the gun, Lynn, and he can't escape, and down he goes. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week, as his first one here's away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw again, Whitaker. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Whitaker. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12-yard. Pressure comes, and down he goes. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. The Giants locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. The Eagles looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Fielded in the end zone and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Throwing right, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw on 2nd down. Whitaker. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. Whitaker. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Whitaker to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So
the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in the end zone, and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the gun on 3rd down. Lim, he may try and run for this. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
On 1st and 10, Lynn, he'll get this to Ward. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 26. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
At the Cowboys' 6-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 4, they could still get a 1st down without scoring. Operating from the gun, Lynn, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. On fourth down, Lynn, and that is incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on fourth down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. They'll run on first down. It's Palmer. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw. Whitaker. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Dallas.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Whitaker's.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Back to throw. Whitaker. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Cowboys.
Complete.
A big play there. With touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. On first down, Lynn, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again, Lynn. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. On third down, Lynn, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Throwing on first down, Lynn sliding out of the pocket. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Looking to throw. Lynn. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. From the gun, Lynn. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Quarterback taken down and sacked. Brought down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Panthers on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That one looks like he'll throw here. And as he throws and the ball is out, it's a live football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, It starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Following the fumble recovery, Lynn. Throw left side, caught here by Ward. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bradley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Operating from the gun, Lynn, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17.
Lynn's pass intercepted by the Cowboys. They'll take over.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. From the gun, Whitaker. And a quick throw here that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just one pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. That good for 19 and a first down. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the bootleg, Whitaker. Going right side here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Operating from the gun, Whitaker, and he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32, and a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Dallas, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the loss will move them back to 3. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.